My name's Zio, and it seems like there's new PSO2 NGS drama every week. Like, it's pretty much Tokusatsu Monster of the Week levels by this point. Ordinarily, I make it a point to avoid that kind of discourse, but I feel like I should speak out here. There's no script here, and there's going to be a little bit of language here and there. Okay, maybe more than here and there, for those of you not used to hearing me swear. That's right, we're talking about Rare Drop. Koi koi! Or the lamentable lack thereof. No, I'm not saying that things shouldn't be rare, far from it. If things are more quote-unquote accessible and more available, then they lose their value. As someone who's primarily covered lore, not just for this game, but for some other games on this channel, I feel like we should take a look at how we got here. For that, we have to go all the way back to the original PSO. Now, PSO had some rather interesting rare weapons, like for example, there were force weapons that buffed lightning techniques. There were also units that increased your attack speed, and in the Dreamcast version, there was a unit that made you completely immune to status ailments like shock and slow. As cool as these things were, a lot of them had nightmarishly microscopic drop rates. And then you had a mechanic called Section ID, which determined what kind of drop tables you got, and some IDs had an easier time with some weapons than others. Back in PSO on the GameCube, my main character was an Orin, so let's hop on PSO World and see what exactly I had to deal with. Gobuma's right arm, 1 in 20,000 on normal, but it got easier to obtain in higher difficulties. Sincesta from Ultimate Hilda Tour was the bane of my existence. You needed 2 of those to change a Lavis Cannon from Lavis Blades into the double cannon. Now we're on to caves. Agito 1975, the real one. 1 in 18,000. Jesus H tap dance and Christ on a pogo stick. That one turned into a highly sought after weapon called the Orochi Agito. There were 3 other Agito weapons that were fakes. Yeah, these drop rates were bananas. Now we're on to mines here. Oh yeah, speaking of Lavis Cannon, 1 in 18,000 off of Sinnoh Red. Just below that Orin card, 1 in 33,000. Holy fucking shit, man. Lavis Cannon was easily my favorite weapon from PSO 1. It looked badass. It made this cool ass swishing sound whenever you swung it. Like, come on, SEGA, where's our damn Lavis Cannon weapon camo? For fuck's sake. I knew people who farmed the fuck out of these mobs back in the day, and they got to level 200 just by farming rares alone. Like recently, there was a guy who would stream on Twitch called Phantasy Starved, and he was farming every single Orin drop. I think he got to level 200, and he only had like 1 or 2 left. Dude hasn't streamed in forever. I hope he's doing alright.
But yeah, what's it got to do with NGS?
Hold your horses, I'll get to it. But PSO1 kind of had an excuse though, as progression there was more or less horizontal, and reaching max level was a journey rather than just ticking a box. Yeah, you had to gain levels and unlock other areas, but you essentially had the whole game at your fingertips by then. I don't know, man. Different game, different era. I don't know about the ones pining for those days. I can kind of understand though, but I think it's mostly chasing the dragon. But now we're on to PSO2 NGS. Now we've always had super rare weapon series like Relic, but now it just seems a lot worse. Like, for example, you have the Octo Armor Arga, which dropped from the LTQ that is thankfully gone now as of this recording. Oh, that was so annoying and made me want to punch puppies. Okay, not really.
Brand risk alert. Brand risk alert. Zeo-mantic advocates punching puppies. Hide your puppies.
In all seriousness though, these have the same potency as regular Octo, but have more HP and PP. I think they meant for that as a gateway to Lucille because it has a lower BP requirement, but I think their execution fell flat here. And then you have the Tisa weapons, which came out in June. And these are ship 1 prices. These subbitches are still 9 figures for Christ's sakes. Then you have Darkfall Solace, which has no other meaningful loot outside of 2 expensive weapon camos. With these microscopic drop rates, I feel like RDR is a scam. RDR, hardy har har, joke's on you if you spent all those SG on rare drop boosters. For a game that pretty much has diagonal gear progression I really don't feel those drop rates should be so damn microscopic. As god-awful as they are, maybe the real issue isn't the damn drop rates. Maybe the real problem is we need shit that's actually worth farming. Something besides just stat sticks. Something besides just cranking potency all the way to ridiculous numbers. Maybe instead of constantly lamenting these issues, we try to find solutions here. I'm sure there are a million better ways to go about this than just bitch, bitch, bitch. Maybe something like base PSO2's S-class augments. Like, they could come in capsule form, and some of the really cool ones could be drops from some of the really hard bosses. Like, they could be for specific classes, like, say, one protector that buffs Shifta and deband by 3%. Or maybe one that reduces the cooldowns of everyone in your party that doesn't already have that augment. Or maybe ones that modify techniques, like, say, one that makes Gizonde suck enemies in. Or how about ones that modify certain photon arts, kind of like how crafted PAs worked in base PSO2. And maybe give the higher rarity weapons different potentials? Sure, still have the potency increases, but have them do other things. There are definitely ways to improve that situation, even ones that I haven't really considered. But then those changes would have their own set of problems. You'll have the min-maxers who will figure out what's the best way to do something, then just optimize the shit out of it. And then once those people have sussed out the best combinations for each class, you'll have a situation where no one will deign to take someone who maybe doesn't fall into that category. Like a Tector who maybe doesn't have that shifted capsule I was talking about earlier, and they're in a random group and everyone just dips out because of that. I'll admit that's kind of an extreme case, but I don't know, people are weird sometimes. In all honesty though, there's no really perfect solution. No system is truly 100% perfect, because we're human after all, and we all have different tastes. I don't know, man, this is kind of a slippery slope here, and whatever we say to SEGA is probably going to be misinterpreted. It's like making a wish on a monkey's paw with these guys. They do exceed expectations sometimes, like in the case with Creative Spaces. People just wanted player housing like in base PSO2, but man did they improve on that. Even though myself and my fellow NGS official creators are ambassadors for this game, we still have to call balls and strikes here. So what do you guys think? What do you think might be the best solution to this? You know how much I love chopping it up with you guys in the comment section and on the streams. Come on by and hang out sometime. We'd love to have you. We talk about this sort of thing all the time over there, and we have these cool parties at my creative space on Ship 1 on the first and third Saturday of each month. Speaking of which, there's one happening this coming Saturday, September 2nd at 7 p.m. Pacific. So yeah, I hope you have a blessed day. And remember, to thine own self be true. Until next time, farewell.